7th Street Bridge.
Copy, S3. All units be advised. Suspect is west
And let's kick things off with a quote from the universe Steven Spielberg brought to life over 30 years ago. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Ian Malcolm, played by the ever-iconic Jeff Goldblum, really nailed it. Humanity's arrogance might just be the thing that wipes us out. Good evening, my friends. You know what time it is. It's part 2 of our weekly news roundup. What's new with the news? Seventh Art, the stage is yours. What do you have for us this time? In movies, we've got a live-action adaptation of a recent hit, Windbreaker, Peter Dinklage, yes, that Tyrion Lannister, stepping into the shoes of an unlikely hero in The Toxic Avenger. And something fresh from the Jurassic universe, Jurassic Park, Rebirth, with none other than Black Widow herself, Scarlett Johansson leading the charge. Oh, and Netflix isn't slowing down. They're throwing zombies, non-stop action, and martial arts into one explosive Thai title, Siam. On the small screen, there's a chilling doc on a South African serial killer, the ABC Killer, a trip back to the Wild West, back to the frontier, and brace yourselves, Cersei Lannister is producing a romantic series. Yep, now we've seen everything. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and come along for the ride. YouTube, while we go buy our ticket to see even more dinosaurs, action, and heart-pounding tension, you may now start this video. How about we kick things off with a live-action adaptation? The second season of the Windbreaker anime wrapped up by dropping the bomb. A live-action film is on the way, hitting theaters this December. Filmed in Okinawa because, of course, the movie is directed by Kentaro Hagiwara, with a script by Japan Academy Award winner Yosuke Masaike. The story follows Haruka Sakura, a student at a school full of delinquents who only cares about one thing, beating everyone up to become the strongest. Who needs friends or morals when you've got fists?
Do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that.
Everyone knows this actor. It's the role that's the surprise. The official trailer for The Toxic Avenger gives us the heroic origin story we didn't know we needed. Peter Dinklage as a janitor named Winston, who becomes a mutated vigilante after a chemical mishap. Yes, you read that right. Featuring Jacob Tremblay, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, and Taylor Page, this no-holds-barred reboot oozes into theaters on August 25th.
Tonight is your last night as a Munson.
What? You're not going to change your name again?
Mrs. Jeffrey Loveglove.
Stop it. It's a beautiful name. It's not his fault.
Our first entry, starring the Black Widow herself, Kristen Scott Thomas takes multitasking to a whole new level in My Mother's Wedding, directing, producing, writing, and starring as her own mom. The film hits theaters August 8th after its debut at the Toronto Film Festival. The plot? A dysfunctional family reunion at mom's third wedding with all the emotional baggage you'd expect. Bonus, Scarlett Johansson is part of the cast, so it's officially classy.
I just want to say how...
Next up, top-tier terror and suspense, the latest trailer for Weapons. The new horror from Barbarian director Zach Kreger is not pulling any punches. 17 kids vanish from the same classroom overnight, except one, and suddenly the town of Maybrook becomes the setting for everyone's worst nightmare. Julia Garner and Josh Brolin lead the cast, with a creepy kid voiceover warning us, "This is a true story from my town." Great, just what we needed, more fuel for insomnia.
Never owned a new car before.
It's awfully fitting for a handsome devil rock star. I do know who you are.
And before we wrap up, how about a music biopic with a Michelin-starred chef? Jeremy Allen White, the Bear, trades kitchen heat for studio grit as Bruce Springsteen in Deliver Me From Nowhere. Directed by Scott Cooper, the film chronicles the making of Springsteen's deeply personal 1982 album, Nebraska. Set to premiere October 24th, it's one more musical biopic gunning for awards season glory, with plenty of heart, soul, and E Street nostalgia. The Black Widow faces her most prehistoric challenge yet. Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards, stomped into theaters on July 2nd, 2025. Set 5 years after Dominion, the film follows a team led by Scarlett Johansson, because of course, on a mission to retrieve dino DNA from a forbidden island. What could go wrong? Q chaos, giant predators, and the return of that iconic T-Rex roar. Dinosaurs 1, Humans 0.
งานนี้จริงๆหรือวะ
Lena Headey อยากกลับไปอยู่เชียงดาว
รู้ว่าอันตรายแล้วทำไมยังทำอีก
And finally, action, martial arts, and zombies. Smells like a hit. Ziam is Netflix's new action horror film dropping July 9th, 2025. It tracks a Muay Thai fighter battling a zombie outbreak inside a hospital to save his girlfriend. With dystopian horror, intense fight scenes, and a dash of romance, it's a fresh twist on the genre. Directed by Kulp Kaljaruk and starring Mark Prin, it's punching its way to the top.
Going back to the frontier is going to be life-changing for all of us.
To kick things off, nothing beats a trip to the Wild West. Back to the Frontier throws 3 modern American families back to the 1880s. No electricity, no running water, just good old pioneer life. The show follows their historic struggles and how they learn to survive a brutal winter. Premieres July 10th on Magnolia Network and Max, promising plenty of humility and hard work for all. Yee-haw!
Last stop on the Underground Railroad. Everybody step off with their own story.
Sometimes genius minds pop up in the most unexpected places. Washington Black, Hulu's limited series based on Essie Adugian's novel, premieres July 23rd. It follows George Washington Wash Black, a prodigy born on a Barbados sugar plantation who escapes and embarks on a globe-trotting adventure. Along the way, he rethinks family, freedom, and love, with Sterling K. Brown starring and executive producing. Talk about a trip.
My name's Book. Books. You must be here about the job. Jack, this is John.
Next up, a British crime drama to whet your appetite. Bookish stars Mark Gatiss as Gabriel Book, a bookshop owner-cum-detective solving crimes around London. The series drops July 16th on UKTVU and Alibi and already snagged international rights in Australia, Spain, and Germany. Gatiss wrote and stars in the show, joined by Connor Finch, Elliot Levy, and some special guests. Cozy mystery, anyone?
I'm the serial killer.
As a young rookie journalist, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a story.
The body started.
Brace yourself for some spine-tingling chills with this docuseries. The ABC Killer is Showmax's documentary diving deep into Moses Sithol's horrors, one of South Africa's worst serial killers convicted of 38 murders. The story rewinds 30 years to when a rookie journalist got disturbing calls from the killer himself. Premieres July 22nd with all the shocking details that shook a nation. Warning, nightmares likely.
Jess, something has shifted with you.
Jess?
Hi, how are you?
Girl, are you good?
To finish, Cersei Lannister making a romantic comedy. Now we've seen everything. Too Much is Lena Dunham's new Netflix rom-com, premiering July 10th. It follows Jessica, Megan Stalter, who flees New York after a breakup and falls for a local musician, Will Sharp, in London. Semi-autobiographical and star-studded, it promises laughs, love, and self-discovery. Who said the Queen of Thrones can't switch genres?
언니. 저는 빼앗기지 않았습니다.
Of course, we're going to wrap things up with the most iconic quote ever uttered by Cersei Lannister, brilliantly portrayed by Lena Dunham? Just kidding, Lena Headey, obviously. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground. Poor Ned Stark. The guy suffered the most because sometimes, to win, honor has to be thrown out the window. So, what did you enjoy the most this time? In movies, we had rebellious teenagers stepping up to protect the people. We had the most toxic Avenger in the Marvel Universe. We got a first look at the Bruce Springsteen biopic, with Jeremy Allen White absolutely killing it. And of course, dinosaurs, action, and Scarlett Johansson. And let's not forget, zombies, martial arts, and good old Netflix doing what it does best, throwing it all in at once. On the TV side, we journeyed through the harsh life of the American West, met a genius in the unlikeliest of places, endured a documentary that's sure to haunt your dreams, followed a charmingly British librarian with a knack for solving crimes, and because this week wasn't weird enough, we ended up with a romantic comedy straight from the mind of Lena Dunham, inspired by her own life, naturally. So hit that like button, share the video with your friends, and have a great start to your week. Thanks for watching, and you know the deal. We'll be back tomorrow with the final part of our weekly roundup. No ticket needed, folks. Entry's free, so don't miss it.